Today, I will be talking about Gen Z's postgraduate unemployment reality and how it got to be as bad as it is. For a bit of background, I'm currently enrolled in college for accounting, and although I chose a relatively safe major, I still have spent countless hours worrying over how bad the job market is, and I know I'm not alone. So, in this video, I will go over the current unemployment rates, the lack of entry level work, and how AI plays into all this. The current unemployment rate for college grads aged 20 to 24 as of June 2025 is 7.3%, which is about 3% better than the unemployment rate for high school grads aged 20 to 24. However, you do have to take into account that over 50% of recent college grads are working jobs that do not require a college degree. Also, another fun fact that according to the Financial Times, degree holding young men have the same unemployment rate as their non degree holding counterparts. So, all things considered, you might ask what the point of college is. But one thing you won't have to question is the crippling debt that you'll most likely take on. According to SoFi.com, the average amount of debt incurred to graduate with a bachelor's degree in 2025 is $35,530. Now, I want you to keep in mind that this number will be skewed by degrees that are a bit more expensive, like medical or law degrees. But overall, most of Gen Z is graduating with a lot of debt. So, to summarize all these statistics I just threw at y'all, you go to college, give up 4 to 5 years of potential earnings just to get a job that won't require the degree you went into debt for. So, how did it come to this? Well, long story short, college used to be a viable path. So parents encouraged their kids to enroll, and after decades of parents insisting to their kids that college is the best path, there became so many college graduates that the level of competition in professional fields grew exponentially. Then you throw in cuts to educational funding and major growth in faculty salary expenses, and you end up with our current education system. Oh, and FYI, when you do decide to apply for an entry level position, you are not only competing against other new graduates, which there are a lot of, but you're also competing against AI screening systems and applicants that actually have years of experience for the position you're applying for. Now, that being said, you do already got the degree and you got the debt. Might as well at least start looking for some entry level positions, right? Well, yeah, you definitely should. But here's a few statistics to keep in mind regarding the so called entry level positions. According to Zippia.com, 38.4% of entry level positions require at least 3 years of experience. And if you do decide to apply for one of these positions, you will have to compete against an average of 250 other applicants. So if you think there's a real person looking over each of these resumes, think again, buddy. And this actually leads me to my next point, AI. AI has affected the job market for new grads mostly through the use of AI powered ATS, or applicant tracking systems. This is basically technology that filters resumes based on the directions or keywords given to the AI system. So these companies are essentially creating their own virtual hiring managers. Albeit they're not perfect, a lot of these applicant tracking systems overlook completely qualified individuals, but it is still dystopian to think about. And since ATS systems filter based on past job experience, it is no longer an added bonus to have internship experience. Now it's a requirement. So if internship experience is so important, then why doesn't every college student have it? Well, the truth is, they're actually sort of difficult to come by. According to the National Association of Colleges and Employers, approximately 55 to 60% of graduating seniors have at least some internship experience. But that doesn't tell the whole story. In reality, 40 to 50% of those internships are unpaid, and unpaid internships have a job offer rate of 40%, which is only 1% better than the job offer rate for students that have no internship experience. Basically, what all that means is that about 30% of students have internship experience that can actually be leveraged into getting a job. Also, it's worth mentioning that unpaid internships create a barrier to entry for students who have to pay bills or for poorer backgrounds in general. I mean, you can't work for free when you need to eat. Now that we have covered the growing unemployment rates, the substantial student loan debt, and how difficult it is for new grads to actually start their career, I want to talk about the psychological effects this process has had on our generation. As many of you know, college tends to be stressful off of coursework alone, but the growing demand from employers and constant rejections that many students face nowadays can lead to a feeling of hopelessness. The Healthy Minds Network published a survey between 2023 and 2024, which stated that 38% of college students had symptoms of depression, while 34% of students had symptoms of anxiety. Now, these mental issues are not 100% correlated to the problems I discussed in this video, but when someone has been given their all just to maintain a high GPA, only for them to be told that they cannot start their career because they do not have any internship experience, and this same person has applied to over 100 positions, of course that is going to have a negative effect on them mentally. Now, I know this video has been disheartening, but there are things you can do to increase your chances of success, which you've probably already heard about in other videos. Methods like networking, freelance work, reworking your resume. Oh, and also, I think starting a YouTube channel that has to do with your major is another good strategy, but I'm gonna leave that topic for another video. If you feel like it, please leave a comment about either what issues you have in regards to getting a job or internship, and if you have found success, please drop your story in the comments as well. I really enjoy reading about what you guys got going on, and thank you for watching this video. Take care.